everyone, welcome back. Today, we're exploring a shifting sea of golden dunes and rocky plateaus that covers an absolutely astonishing 3.6 million square miles. Just to put that massive scale into perspective for a second, that is an area roughly the size of the entire United States, stretching all the way from the Atlantic Ocean to the Red Sea. In today's Explainer, we are going to unpack one of the most extreme, uncompromising environments on our entire planet, the Sahara, the world's hottest sand desert.
Okay, let's dive right into this. We're dropping straight into the highest stakes possible by asking one really fundamental question. Can a human actually survive here? I mean, this is a landscape that literally tests the absolute limits of biology. We are talking about an environment where surface water is virtually non-existent for hundreds of miles, and where intense solar radiation will rapidly strip the human body of vital fluids. To really understand this region, we have to look at how life pushes back against a formidable, active force of nature that is constantly trying to extinguish it. Section 1. The Deadly Sea of Sand. Extreme Conditions. When you think of the Sahara, your mind probably jumps straight to those sweeping, visually overwhelming, endless mountains of sand, right? Well, there's a fascinating geographical twist here. Those iconic towering dunes, which are known as ergs, actually only make up about 25% of the Sahara. The vast majority of this phenomenal desert is made up of what are called hamadas. These are incredibly desolate, rocky, barren plateaus that have been swept completely clean of sand by fierce winds. It's this combination of endless shifting ergs and brutal stone-scoured plains that creates the massive, almost incomprehensible scale of this landscape. And the environmental conditions here, they push the absolute limits of geography. It is definitely not an exaggeration to say the heat here literally bakes the earth. During the summer months, daytime air temperatures frequently blow past 120 degrees Fahrenheit, or about 50 degrees Celsius. But the ground itself is so much worse. The temperature of the actual sand can hit a blistering 176 degrees Fahrenheit, or 80 degrees Celsius. That is literally hot enough to fry an egg right there on the ground. It creates a genuinely barren landscape where every single drop of moisture is a rare, precious resource fought over by absolutely everything that lives there. All right, let's move on and see how this builds in Section 2. How was it formed? A historical mystery. You know, beneath these scorching, barren sands lie some deeply hidden stories. The harsh reality we see today actually masks a remarkably vibrant, ancient history. Get this, just 5 to 10,000 years ago, during what scientists call the African humid period, this entire region was a massive green savanna. It was a thriving ecosystem totally packed with vast lakes, like Mega Lake Chad, which was actually larger than the Caspian Sea. We're talking roaming hippos, crocodiles, and early human settlements. Deep in the Sahara, archaeologists have even discovered ancient cave art depicting humans swimming in large bodies of water. Swimming in the Sahara. It paints a radically different picture of the past. So how exactly did a lush savanna transform into a hyper-arid wasteland? The mechanics behind this massive shift are incredibly fascinating. And no, it wasn't caused by human activity, but by a slight shift in the Earth's axis. A really subtle orbital wobble changed the exact angle at which sunlight hit the northern hemisphere. Just that slight alteration was enough to completely wreck the region's monsoon cycle, pushing the rain-bringing winds way further south. Without that continuous rainfall, the vegetation simply died off, the soil lost its ability to hold moisture, and the whole landscape dried out in a geological blink of an eye, locking all those ancient ecosystems right beneath the sand. Which brings us to Section 3, Secrets of Desert Survival, and how life somehow thrives here. Despite the blistering heat and total lack of water, nature has engineered some absolutely mind-blowing survival tactics. Take the fennec fox, an animal uniquely adapted to this unforgiving terrain. It evolved these enormous, distinctive ears that can be up to 6 inches long. But they aren't just for hearing. They act as highly efficient biological radiators, totally filled with blood vessels that dump the fox's body heat out into the air to keep it cool. And simultaneously, those exact same ears are sensitive enough to hear the faint scurrying of tiny insect prey moving deep underground. The animals out here haven't just gotten lucky, they have completely mastered their extreme environment. And this brilliantly illustrates a profound, deadly paradox about the region. Because there's virtually zero moisture or humidity in the air to trap the day's solar radiation, the very second the sun goes down, all that intense heat immediately escapes right back into the atmosphere. This means temperatures in the Sahara can plummet from blistering, life-threatening heat during the day to literally below freezing at night. It's a really harsh duality.
You could be witnessing a breathtakingly pristine sunset over a towering dune while simultaneously needing to prep for a lethal freezing nightfall.
Now let's look at our own species in Section 4. The ultimate human challenge, absolute respect. The Sahara remains a harsh and unforgiving place, representing pure, unadulterated danger for anybody who goes in unprepared. Yet, it also highlights the absolute ingenuity of human adaptation. Indigenous nomadic groups like the Tuareg people have spent millennia mastering the art of navigating and surviving this exact terrain. By utilizing distinct indigo-dyed clothing that protects against the intense sun while still allowing air to circulate, relying on incredibly precise celestial navigation across totally featureless dunes, and preserving ancient knowledge of hidden underground aquifers, they seamlessly navigate a landscape that routinely breaks our most advanced modern technology. It's a really profound reminder of the difference between modern hubris and ancient adaptation.
Despite everything we've analyzed in this explainer, those endless shifting sands are still guarding undiscovered mysteries. For example, archaeologists recently uncovered the buried civilization of the Garamatas, this ancient society that thrived in the Sahara by building a vast empire using an ingenious network of underground water extraction channels. Furthermore, modern satellite imaging equipped with ground-penetrating radar has recently revealed the sprawling, ghostly outlines of ancient mega-river systems hiding just meters beneath the dry dunes. So the Sahara is definitely not an empty void. It is a massive, shifting vault of planetary history.
Which brings us to our final thought today. Knowing its vast, staggering scale, its beautiful but completely lethal extremes of temperature, those ancient green ecosystems buried beneath its dunes, and the profound vulnerability it demands from us, would you dare to visit the Sahara Desert? Take a moment to really contemplate that sweeping, dangerous reality. Keep exploring, keep learning, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.